the reason it wasn't working, I was thinking about a previous exercise that I'd done and a video that I'd just done. I actually hadn't restarted my server, so let me uncomment all this stuff that I had commented out briefly. Get rid of this. Maybe I'll have to bring it back. Hopefully there won't be mistakes, but I'm pretty sure that the mistakes was due to that, right? I don't know what else that I did here. Everything is still okay. All right, so let's just save that and set up the local server. So I'm gonna, I have my desktop here, so I'm just gonna change the directory and then change it to my directory I've been working out of. All right, and then here, which is again my main folder where all of this is being, right, the PA5JS video tutorials, where all that's being saved, I'm going to make that my site, my local host at this position. So Python 3 m HTTP server. Okay, then go to my browser. HTTP localhost 8000 is what I want, and I'm doing my right here. Great, and it's yellow. That's exactly what I wanted. Remember, it's not set to change sizes yet when I resize the browser, but no matter how big I make it, it's that size. So I make it big, it's that size. I'll make it even more small, it's that size, right? Really small. That's whatever size the width and height are going to be. Fantastic. All right, now let's do that so that it's resized. So that's just like the last one. So function window resized, and we just copy these same things here to set the variable size, and then these guys. I don't need that console log anymore. All right, now makes it big, right? I can make it as big and small as I like, and it's always going to be that size. Great, so now that's working. Let's change the CSS a little bit though before I start. Well, let's do the bouncing ball first. So let's go to the sketch. We're in the sketch. I need some variables for my bouncing ball. Okay. Let me give them initial values in the setup. Initialize circle variables. X equals width over 2, y equals height over 2, d equals, I'm going to set it a proportion of the width, so width over 20, so that if I make the window big, the diameter of the circle will be bigger. If I make the window small, the diameter of the circle will be smaller. Let's give those speeds, sx and xy, random values. Let's say -10 to 10 for both sx and sy. Okay. Now let's just draw the circle first. I'm not going to give it an initial stroke color, a fill color. No fill. Let's make it have a stroke. Let's not make the background yellow anymore either. We'll just make it black. draw the circle, stroke. Also, let's give it a stroke. Well, that's not it. Stroke, weight, 3. Stroke. Let's make it yellow, right? And then circle. Oops. X, Y, D. Okay. So it's drawing it. We have it at this position and size. So let's see if it'll appear. And there it is. Okay. Right in the center as we expect. Okay. Let's make circle move. X plus equals Sx. Y plus equals Sy. Right, so anytime we refresh, it's going in a random direction at a random speed. Great. Now we want to make it bounce. And we just want to reverse signs, right? And we'll do that for both the left and the right, and the top and the bottom. We just have to change the x's to y's. Oh, I have an extra. It should be going in the other direction. Oops, I messed this up, didn't I? Sure did. Okay. Alright, SY, and change the width to height. Alright, there we go. That should be top, bottom. Alright, so x's and sx's, width, y's, sy's, and height. Okay. Should be conditional with an L. Saving that. Now it's going to bounce, hopefully. Oh, it doesn't. What did I do wrong? If x is greater than width minus d over 2, s equals d over 2. Right, that looks right to me. Oh, I don't have the or. Hello, stupid. Or x is less than or equal to 0, or just d over 2. And then or y is less than or equal to d over 2. Okay, now I'll make it faster. I want a faster one. There we go. Okay, let's make it go even faster than that. Instead of -10 and 10, let's make it -20 and 20. Okay, good. Now if we wanted to leave streaks or trails, we can set the background to low opacity. Okay. All right, now let's just play around a little bit with the CSS on this. Now this is going to change no matter how big I make it, it's going to still work, or how small I make it. Well, now notice I made it too small. When I reach the edge, it goes off and it's never going to come back, right? That's a danger. So what do we have to do? We have to reset those values, right, of x and y, so that when if I change the window size, it doesn't go beyond the edge too fast. So let's reset that stuff. So I'll reinitialize or reset the variable values inside the window resize, so that when I resize the window, so reset circle variable values when window is resized. Okay, so I just copy and paste that, so it just does the same thing again, but when the window is resized, right? So I just copied and pasted all that stuff from the setup. These, where they get the initial values, you want those values to be reset when the window is resized. Okay, so that's good. Let me make it a little faster. Hopefully, there we go, a little bit faster when I resize the window. There we go. And I don't think it's going to go, it's always going to start in the center, right? So it's never going to go beyond the edge. Just to safeguard, in case when we make it smaller or bigger, it doesn't ever go beyond the edge. Notice that the circle changes size with the size of the browser window. If I make the browser window small, the circle's small. If I make the browser window big, the circle's a bit bigger. Okay. Now the last thing I want to do is see, just for whatever, let's change some styling here just for the hell of it. So I'm going to go to CSS styles. I'm going to say, what do I want to do here? Let's add, instead of have margin 0, let's have margin be, not margin, let's have padding be, say, 20. Okay, let's see what that does. 20 pixels. Not quite sure why that's doing. It's doing the margin where I expect it to there, but not. Okay, it goes right to the edge there. But it stops. That's what I expected, for there to be space there. But it doesn't go on all sides. That's because the height is 100%. What happens when I take that out? Yeah, thought so. So canvas size. So this is telling the size of that, the body. Mystified as to why. What happens if I put width? Wow. Okay. Let's put this back to 0. I don't want to spend too much time on this because this is incidental. It's not that important. Yeah, it's not doing what I expect, which I don't know why. So let's just put it back to 0 and pretend I never tried to do that. But what I do want to do is see about putting, say, a wrapper or a layer on top of this, right? If this is the background, how do we do that? Alright, so I'm going to go to my index. I'll put a div and id equals wrapper. Oops. Wrapper. Let's just go ahead and put h1 in there just so we have some content. Testing. So I'm going to style the wrapper and the H1. Right, so I just have the wrapper like we normally do, and then an H1 in there. So let's go to the styles, wrapper, width 60%, margin 0 auto. Okay, let's change the background color, background color, just some random color, 0, 0, 0, 0, F, and then, well, let's just, no, let's see what that does first before we do H1, and there we go. So you can go ahead and make your divs, and let's see if it goes underneath it or on top of it. Right, you see that? So it shouldn't be underneath it. It is actually underneath it. Okay, so if we want it to be on top, we have to do what's called absolute positioning, right? Which I've shown you once or twice this semester. So position absolute z index one. Let's make it one. Left. Let's say from the left. Let's make it 300 pixels. From the top, 100 pixels. There we go. And now we see that it's underneath it. So if you, for whatever reason, have a background that you want as your P5JS and you want something on top of it, I'm not advocating this. I don't love it. But if you, for whatever reason, need to do that, you would have to set the styling this way and position it this way. If you need help, let me know. Until then, that's the end.